Good evening, everybody. I'm glad you're here. All the ladies in the front, the females in the rear. This is DFG in the place to be, coming live from the 571, where I have been fun and I'm getting things done. The host with the most, from coast to coast and post to post. Just be here and don't be square. Welcome to my show. Welcome to my show. Welcome to my show. They say if you say something 3 times, you'll get, you will be you will remember it forever. So I'm going to say my opening line. This is DFG in the place to be. I'm the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. Coming to you live from the 571, where I'm having fun and I'm getting things done. On the way, we hope that you learn something. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be live, and you're going to have a good old time. On with me right now is one of my sisters from the same Mister. She's not slow and she's good to go. She's Miss Snapple from the Big Apple. What's going on, Apple? Okay, that's what's up. If anybody has the invite, if anybody has the Zoom invite, you can log in on Zoom because we're simulcasting on Zoom as well as we're also doing hey Miss Nikki, what's going on? If you want to get on the Zoom link, if you got my invite or you went to one of my pages, you've seen that. And I'm hoping that you come on and join us while we do our thing. Before we get tonight's show started, I'm sure, unless you've been under a rock or in any type of place, I'm sure you've heard the news. I'm not going to spread it, but it's still the news. We got Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Love, who's had a very long, has a very long and very, how can I say, up and down relationship. Um, I got KH coming on through YouTube. What's going on? Have a good welcome to my show. As you know, I'm DFG in the place to be. But Sean Combs has been arrested under federal charges, and he's going to be doing some time. Make no mistake about it. Um, he's he's left a trail of broken bodies, broken promises, and broken heads all over the place. And we don't know how this show is going to end, but we know it's not going to end in a good way. I want y'all to understand, if you have any words on what's going on and you want to be part of the show, you can come on and through Zoom, and I want you to come on and we can do this thing. And before we start, I'm gonna wait on Chocolate Pearl, my favorite girl, and if Beanie's coming on, hopefully she's on. But I'm gonna show you a clip from Diddy's today. So I ask that you sit back, relax, open your mind, and clear your body as we bring up as we bring up what's going on in Sean P. Diddy's world. Let me switch screens, and my Zoom will go away. Allow to share window, and here we go. I'm going to stop that here. Hey, what's going on? My main man Chuck. It's my boy Chandos Jackson. Hey, we've known each other over 30 years. He was my army buddy. We were together from our officer basic course and through our first duty station. We stayed in touch. We've been good friends ever since. Um, he hey, he's a good one. So I just want to make sure I give him his shout out today, and I thank him for coming on. Hey Melina, what's going on? Let's go to his lovely bride Melina. They've been married going on 23 years. That was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks, 23 years ago. 3 weeks ago. Oh yeah, don't trust me. I remember. Cause I was there. Hey, oh, I'm just older and fatter, but that's what matters. I got one of my co-hosts on, my fellow co-host. We're gonna bring on Chocolate Pearl, my favorite girl. Come on, and Candace, you and Chocolate Pearl have one thing in common. Y'all were born 1 year apart, the same day. Yes, she is my sister from the same Mr. and Mrs. And DJ Dabs is my future brother-in-law. If you were on my show about 3 weeks ago, he proposed on my show. I'm so proud and so happy. And they found who they needed. They found each other, and they're doing well. So, Chuck, my man, what do you think about the events of today? You hold on, before I go, I'm going to give a little tidbit. Candace works as a screenwriter, and his side hustle is being an accountant and a financial advisor. So he knows a little bit behind what's behind those closed doors because he's written for a few shows. One show in particular he wrote just went off TV a couple of years ago, was called Bull on CBS. He actually wrote an episode for that. He also has written a few screenplays, and he's very smart man from HU, graduated from Howard University, got his master's from Michigan. His lovely bride graduated, her bachelor's was in journalism from Tennessee State, and she got her master's from Columbia University. She's a freelance writer. So when I talk people, dude, I'm a repository of useless information, but I don't forget my friends now. But this if you want, go ahead, Shannon. That's what's up. What's your opinion, Melina? Putting that orange man away where he belongs. Well, he well, they knew. Yes, they knew each other. Yeah, they. Hey, look, they. Let's just say, and that's the reason why I named this episode Diddy's arrest, and is anyone now, even the most powerful, above the law? I'm going to venture, and a lot of people may disagree with me. What's going on, Special K? She's a co-host of mine on Tantalize and Talk Thursdays. Those are Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. with our CEO and president, Dr. Fabulous, as well as myself, Special K, Lady T, and Action J. But one of the things you said, Melina, made a point. He's running not for president. He's running to keep his behind out of jail because they're going to get him. If they got, think about this. They got Weinstein. They got Epstein. They got Diddy. What's the common thread between all three of those people? And yes, and they all hung out with a certain former president who's under criminal indictment or who's been convicted. So you run with the, you run with the people that you're most comfortable with. Now, he wasn't the right complexion for the protection that he was, but he ran in those circles and he has a lot of dirt. You heard they found like 1,000 bottles. Was it 1,000 bottles of baby oil, chocolate pearl? She's in Florida. Oh, she might have dropped off. Miss Nikki, was it? Can you tell me whether they found how many? Well, maybe he was. Well, maybe he was using it for a giant slip and slide. You know, maybe it was for the wrestling in a little pool. You know, they put it in a pool. I got it. I got it. Sponsored by Johnson Johnson. When you want to get in tight places, use Johnson and Johnson's baby oil. Ooh, yeah, and y'all know most of us in here are parents, and we've used baby oil, and if it gets on your carpet or your walls, it ain't never coming off. It ain't never coming off. Well, I got quite a few people. I just want to shout out everybody. I'm not doing my TikTok live because my main profile that I work out of got banned for speaking my mind, and that's a long story. So I am working off of Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and I'm also trying to get all of this. That's why we have the Zoom. We have the Zoom in here, and I'm trying to get this thing together. I'm 3 people short of 15K subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to my page, subscribe to my page. I want to get over 15K. I got 33K on TikTok and Facebook. I got friends. So hopefully y'all in from all over. I've sent messages. I put everything on the board. So Miss Kim, what is your opinion on this whole Diddy thing? Can you hear me? Okay. What are your thoughts about that? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Chickens have come home to roost. The people have gone and joined, and yeah, R. Kelly was a different case because yeah, it was famous, but it was mostly famous among black people. White people ain't really care because white people weren't really affected. The difference between him and Diddy, he got white people involved. So, like I said, and there's a whole bunch of folks. This is just my opinion. I only know what I see. But yeah. And that's what it usually takes when episodes like that come on. There's always things are a wall of time because victims are afraid to come forward because they think they'll be ridiculed. But when that first victim steps forward, is brave enough to step forward, what happens is they continue, the dominoes start to fall. Think about, let's go back to Harvey Weinstein. Once a couple of women, and then the Me Too movement came. It was a wrap for him. He was going, and I am not unhappy that he will never see outside of a prison, because you know not only using his power and influence, but coercing people. I'm not gonna keep, because Diddy did men and women, but coercing people through blackmail to get to what they want, and to keep them from getting, and then they're always on that tether, that leash, that if you're doing this, you're going to have issues with making people look at you funny. So, like I said, it only takes one or two victims that are credible and believable. Sometimes even there's no such thing as a bad victim. Victims, if you've been victimized, you're a victim, and you got to be treated as such. But a lot of times, people get so caught in it, and what keeps them in is they look at it as, well, if I'm going, I'm gonna tell, and then your situation is gonna be ruined. And this is what happens. That's why a lot of people are silent. But then when one person steps up and they're considered credible, a whole bunch of people follow. Because I'll even go back a little farther. Is anybody still familiar with the baseball steroid scandal from, this was the late 90s, early 2000s? The person that wrote the book, Juice, was Jose Canseco. Everybody clowned Jose Canseco, and he said, "I know, I got names, I got books, I got this, I got that," and people didn't believe him. But once he showed receipts, it was like a snowball, and they basically call that whole era from 1993 to 2000, and like 2004, they call that the steroids era. And a lot of people that were big then are not getting there now. They should have, most of them should have made the Hall of Fame, because they were good enough. Their numbers were good enough, i.e., Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. However, it took all of that for people to actually believe, and Sammy Sosa. Don't forget Sammy Sosa. It took all those people for people to believe that had actually happened, and this is the result of all of that going on in the world of those big and powerful people. Now, like I said, yes, the Republican nominee is a convicted felon, and for the grace of whoever, he's still running. I believe that as Epstein got what he got, they say it was suicide. That's the official cause. I'm not going to argue, but between us and my fans, or us and my audience, yeah, that ain't it. That wasn't it. But let's just watch what happened to Diddy's when he's in those tombs down there in Manhattan, getting ready to, and his bail got denied. So um, let's just, but yes, the same thing. Yes, yeah, no, go on. I was just say yes. I agree. Yes, and but the thing is though, and here's the difference. Yes, yes, 45. Yes, 45 wants attention, and he's not. No, he says he's a stable genius, but if he's a stable genius, I'm smarter than Einstein. He lacks the wherewithal, and his life was always of privilege. So he never had to really face consequences. If his money got him out of, now he's up to a situation to where if he was treated like anybody else, there would probably be a lot of disorder in the country. So I'm not condoning what the authorities are doing. I think he should be campaigning from Rikers. However, we understand the overarching things that certain crimes by certain people will be treated certain ways. So I think there's nobody in here who's gonna. Does anybody have a counter argument on why Donnie von Schitzenpants is not sitting in a cell at Rikers? Y'all, you're free to express your opinion. Um, but I got Dr. Seductive on. She's coming on. She's another former co-host with me on Tantalizing Talk for You. You typed in the box that 45 wants attention. Can you please explain that and articulate? Yes. Yes. Someone in the box, titled F, stated that there was on YouTube stated there was a rumor that he was providing information to the government, which was why he wasn't touched. They're asking, do you think he isn't useful now, and which is why he was caught, why he was taken in, now, and that's why he's gotten all the attention. Can you answer that, Doc? No, yeah, no, yeah, I'm thinking 45 too. It said there was a rumor that he was providing information. He meaning Diddy, providing information to the government, which was why he hadn't wasn't touched until now. Do you think he isn't useful now, which is why he's getting all this attention? Well, I am Well, you know they could. You know, about to say if they got Epstein, he he could definitely get touched. Figuratively and literally. Oh yeah, yeah. Cousin Nicole, it's my cousin Nicole from Phoenix. She's on. She's in Zoom now. Do you agree or disagree with Dr. Seductive's actual um, synopsis? Yes, yes. And I'm go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, definitely. Yeah, it that's true. Um, and I agree up to a point. And just the only point of contention I have is um, I don't think I think you're right. I think he's going through his own personal denial. And yes, we all weren't there, but there are too many people that were close to the situation that said just enough to not have them people put on him because he got goons on speed dial, and that's what would happen. And you notice a lot of those Hollywood types, and I'm sure my boy Chandis can attest. A lot of those Hollywood types are tight-lipped about what's going on in them parties. Cat Williams. He didn't open the floodgates, but he you remember a couple of times he actually named names, not actual names, but characters, and you knew who they were. You knew who they were. He said in his one of his comedy routines, he said, "I walked by the room. Is that so and so kissing a man?" And he was like, "I saw stuff I wasn't supposed to see." And the thing is that he thought, and this is just my opinion, he thought he couldn't be touched because of all the dirt he had on a lot of people. Well, the powers in place have ways of silencing folks. First they kill you in the media, then they kill your reputation, and when those two are gone, they take your life, and then you basically become an unperson. That's what I think, and I think he's in the kill. His reputation was already mud. His reputation was already mud, and that's been for years. How he you remember about 2 years ago, 2 3 years ago, he gave all of his artists back their publishing rights. A man who held power, don't power is not given away, it's taken. And they took the power from him, and stuff started trickling out. Too much stuff that was trickling out got to a point to where, they were just like, they figured, and I don't know who they are. I don't need to be on nobody's radar. But yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. I don't think in YouTube land, in Facebook land, put a yes in the box if you think he is now expendable. And I'm talking about Sean Combs. I'm not talking about the useful person who's trying, the useful unsmart person that is running for the GOP for president of the United States. That's a whole nother can of worms that I do not want to go in too deeply because yes. No, no, I agree. Apple, what do you think about what cousin Nicole said? Apple? Yes, 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 right. Yes, and you know what? You know what the ancient Romans did when the population was getting tired of the conditions they were living in. That's why they built the Colosseum. It's a tribute to one of the Roman emperors that to keep the people happy, you give them bread and you give them circuses. The bread is so that they're not totally starving, and the circus is to get their minds and escapism on what was going on with all those armies, because there were plenty of wives who saw their husbands conscripted into the Roman legions and sent out to some distant hinterlands to provide Rome's presence. And after a while, when stuff gets, you get upset because, hey, my man ain't coming home. My son's not coming home. So what do? They do said they do a lot of they did a lot of gladiator fights. They did food giveaways. They did things to keep the public distracted from what was really going on. And as you and Nicole said that, and Dr. Seductive, we don't always we get fed stuff, but we don't always look past what we're being fed, because sometimes we don't want to see the curtain pulled back, because the reality of the direness of the situation that's going on in the United States and in essence the world, it won't have us in a good place. So F was another former military person of mine that I've known for years. He put in YouTube, if the allegations are going to be true, then that means hip hop artists have been trying to tell us the truth about him for years. Ice Cube, Jamie Foxx, Fitty, etc. And y'all remember earlier this year, late last year, Jamie Foxx was out of commission to where he almost bought the farm. And everybody, there's no proof, there's no actual concrete evidence, but who were they pointing towards? They were pointing towards Diddy, because Jamie Foxx done been to a few of them parties. I don't know if he stayed to the after party, but he been to a few of them parties, so he has some knowledge of what was going on. And a lot of the industry, I don't know, Candace, could you tell me if I'm in left field? A lot of the industry understood the background of who Diddy was, and what influence he held. Candace, I'll get back. I'll get back to him. I'll get back to him. And F also said out of nowhere, Jamie Foxx was sick. Chocolate Pearl. You understand that there's rumors, could be true, could not be true, about he had Biggie set up to be laid down, and he had some involvement in Tupac getting laid down. I personally think it was it was Marion. Well, Jamie Foxx. No, Jamie Foxx was. Remember, he had gotten real sick all of a sudden, and nobody knew where he was for 6 months. There were allegations that um, Diddy had somebody reach out and touch him, and by the grace of God, he made it through. But you notice his behind is quiet as a church mouse. He's probably gonna say something once after, if you know he's black in America, so he's guilty until proven innocent. I hate to say that. It might sound Yeah, yeah, right. I'm yeah. Well, that makes yeah, and yeah, he had Mace's publishing for years, and then he finally gave him his publishing about 2 years ago. And Mace ain't wanna, he ain't wanna be Meek Milled. So, but the difference between I'm saying no, but the difference between most of those other cats and like Mace been in the street. Diddy was not a street guy, but he associated himself with street guys to give him that credibility to do what he did. And him and Sean Carter, I think Sean Carter may be next. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to wish that on people, but I think Sean Carter is next because they're going to get all of the. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and there are a lot of there are probably a lot of unindicted co-conspirators in his case, as there is in 40 case, and also in a few other cases, even in Aura's case. So, what people and what we as ordinary or normies, as they like to call us, what what they do is, you know, they have the influence to keep not everything out, but they can keep most of the stuff out, and that's what they do. So as long as normies and all of that stuff. Oh yeah, Jennifer Lopez back in when they when he was Puff Daddy, and she was dating him for like a hot second, collecting her Infinity Gauntlet stones because she got more rocks than the Flintstones. But yeah, Jennifer Lopez is definitely keeping her mouth shut. Cause they ain't, yeah, um, yeah, and Kim Porter, I feel for her. She had a ton of dirt, so she had to go. She had to go, and there are a couple other people, dude GDEP, Shine got deported because of he took the fall for that shooting, which I probably don't. Oh yeah, definitely. I look. I mean, he didn't direct. I don't think he directly did it. Don't know. Not up to me to find out. But he had something to do with her sudden leaving us. And I don't think anybody disagrees with that. We just it's not what we know, is it's what can be proved. And y'all know 99 times out of 100, if the feds got a case on you, they ain't gonna spring the trap until they ready. And it's exactly, and it's going to be pretty much airtight. That's another reason why when Mango Mussolini was in the White House, that's why he stalled a lot of. That's why he was trying to fire a lot of people, seniors in the White House, because he knew once they got everything together, said you know once they got everything together, they were coming to get him. So how could he do that? Obfuscate, misdirect, and cause issues such as not reacting to a worldwide medical emergency, not acting with any urgency, first denying it, and then begrudgingly accepting it. And then finally, the good thing that he did about that was when he activated Operation Warp Speed in late October of 2020, right before the election. It was a little too late for 500,000, about 500,000 people, but he did what he thought necessarily to get the steps to keep himself above the law. Supreme Court helped them with that when they said a sitting president cannot be indicted for crimes that they commit as an official act of state, and that's what he was hoping on. But what we know in the New York case, I I agree. I agree. And a lot of things that we do is, we normal people are the ones looking at those in power. We probably are glad that something's being done, but we ain't satisfied because it ain't happening fast enough. What do you think, Miss Andreen? What are your thoughts? Yes. What are your thoughts about this whole Diddy fiasco, tying it in with Mango with the Mango guy? And do you think his time is coming up to an end? Can you break those layers down? Yeah, Well, he's trying to tell the children they're not they're above the law, and what they do, he'll get them out of. I got Nicole with her hand up. Come on, Nicole. Yep. But yes, and no, I agree. I agree. Um, but like I said, it goes back to kind of what the Romans have been doing, bread and circuses. Um, to I don't know if anybody else noticed, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist, and I got my aluminum hat behind me. Um, you notice whenever stuff starts getting like wonky in the political realm, somebody gets arrested, like a big name gets arrested. It's almost like they got them on speed dial. You gotta take one for the team. You gotta take one for the team. Whether usually, yeah, yes, I agree. Well, that's kind of how the system was. Um, I'm sure. I'm sure. Kim, yeah. Oh, couch lover. no. I mean, we understand that whatever comes out the 45's ejaculation receptacle um, is going to not make sense to normal people. However, you know, he's going to say what he said. That we have to look at him when we're dealing with stuff where we have to look at it with a kind of jaundiced eye, but we can't get so apathetic to say, so what? All this stuff is connected. All of it matters. So I would ask each and every one of y'all, because I'm coming to the end of my tenure for tonight. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming on, talking about this subject. Uh, well, well, I was going to show a video. I was going to show a video of actual people eating pets, but yeah, I like, I like to get. I like to keep my channel. Yeah, no, I got. Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is because, like I said, I need to keep the channel somewhat PG-13 because they're even though kids might not supposed to watch this, they're going to watch this. Um, I you know I do have a little monologue, a little diatribe before we go. Overall, I don't think the second attempt was staged, and the reason I said that was because the person who did that got close enough and was there before they even got out there, which I don't think they swept the perimeter good enough. But the fact that the person was taken in alive, the first person, y'all, I think y'all have a point. I think that was a staging event because he can't say anything because guess what? They gave him a high velocity sleeping pill. Just found that one today. Um, but the other guy got caught and he didn't have, and he's sitting in the jail. So I don't think that he was paid off. I think that was an actual attempt because he was unhinged. And by the way, he had the complexion for the protection, so he wasn't going to be caught out there like that, and he wasn't going. But yes, Yeah, but he ain't go. You 60 times 300. This is true. This is true. But like I said, I mean, that's why I differ in opinion with everybody on that one. Nevertheless, it 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 gives us something else to talk about, except for his lack of policies, Project 25, stacking the Supreme Court, overturning Roe versus Wade, actually have equitable taxes. And I'm by no far a liberal. I am not. Y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm not. I am not liberal. I do have progressive side, but I'm not liberal. But I would say that everybody, we kind of, being black in America, as most of us in my audience today are, we understand that what we always see isn't always what's going on. We don't always get to peek behind the curtain. In this case, all these things are going up, and I'm going to say this, and y'all can unsubscribe me. If you vote for 45, you do not love America. You do not love America. Disagree with me. I don't care. That's my personal opinion, and I'm sticking with that. I can't in good conscience. I can't in good conscience. I said I wish there were better candidates, but um, and like, go ahead. Well, he never had an altruistic bone in his body. We all know that because he was, and he gets it from his parents who taught him he was better than everybody else. Even though, was he the smartest of us? No. Was he the richest of us? No. Was he a? I mean, he ran a country like he ran his business, and had he had 8 years, guess what? We'd have probably been probably just a little better than Botswana. And no disrespect to Botswana. Botswana is the way it is because of European colonialism, but that's I digress. Going back to close everything on that, we may not know the full extent of what Sean Combs did, but we know that he is being brought into account, and I hope that justice and not revenge will prevail. And if he's convicted, if the evidence supports it, and he's guilty of it, he is going to he hopefully he will pay his due and get what's coming to him. And the same for 45. On that note, I'm gonna hit up Chocolate Pearl. You got anything before we close out? I got you. I got you. Apple. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for showing up. You didn't have to. I appreciate you coming on, and I want to thank my boy Chandis. I gotta have you on for an interview one of these weeks. I'll hit you up later and we can talk about it, because you know, you're very well put together, and you know a lot of stuff almost as much as I do. I want to thank each and every one of the people who came on. There's too many of y'all to name right now, but I want to thank y'all, and I want y'all to be back here next week, because I want to say, never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't. Have a wonderful